He was a great kid. I had him one semester. Very insightful.
He hated you.
Well, like I said, sharp kid, insightful.
What I find amazing about you in this film is also, and what I find so interesting is, I mean, you're a brilliant actor, and you're also very much an amazing singer. You have an amazing voice.
Thank
you got your big breakthrough, of course, in the Ghost musical.
Are you ready? Are you ready to believe?
And here, there's so much strength in her, in the character. There's so much power. There's so much love and charm. But it's a performance that much more relies on a few carefully selected words, with the very, relatively little use of the voice, and more in terms of subtle movements and the looks. It's much more subtle. How big of a challenge was that?
It was a big challenge because that's not my normal rhythm. That's not most of the characters that I've portrayed before.
I'm so grateful for what you did for me, because I never seen nobody that looks like me up there on that big screen. The killer is someone in this room. God damn it, I always wanted to say that shit. How does it sound, boy? Does it sound strong to you?
Yeah. And it required me to get into a completely different headspace, body space, rhythm, pace. She's much more methodical and, like you said, perfectly placed, selected words.
Thank you.
I see how it is. But then also in that, you can't make a meal out of it. Do you know what I mean? And actually what I found was the most interesting about her is that some of the most profound things she said it like it was throwaways. Like, oh, you can't even dream a whole dream, can you?
Why not just read a book? I'm not sure I have an entire book in me.
You can't even dream a whole dream, can you?
When I'm reading it, I'm like, whoa, that's so deep. Let's make it like, you can't dream. And it's like, no, she's just, you can't dream a whole dream, can you? So that required me to do a certain amount of work on my part and research and create a world, a visceral, sensory world for myself to disrupt my pattern to adapt to hers. And so some of those things was through the smoking, through the dialect.
I don't need you feeling sorry for me. Rich and dumb, popular combination around here.
Through how she looked, through the cooking, through becoming comfortable with not being so talkative. Just in general, even that element was something that I would say I brought home. Of everything, that was the one thing I brought home with me at night to night, of this idea of, because that was probably not the hardest, but the biggest thing that was different from me. I talk very fast, and I am a Gemini and a Taurus, so there's 1,000 things going on. And so I really tried and had to maintain that throughout the process of filming, this idea of taking one's time, slowing down the meter, and being comfortable with being quiet and sitting in one's thoughts. And so it's quite interesting because in many senses, it's almost like for me, in my process, it felt like I was doing 2 movies at once. One, which is like, the normal talking and dialogue and all that stuff. And then another one, which was, I feel like I was a silent movie actress. The writer, David, his writing changed. So in the script, it looked like a movie script. And then when it came to these like silent movie moments, it became a narrative, almost prose-like, and in great detail of merely the atmosphere and that she's somewhere in it. And so it was the collaboration of the exceptional props department of filling this place in such a way where I had a very filled world. I mean, I could literally open a drawer and the drawer was filled with stuff that you never saw, but it was everything that I needed. I never asked for it. It was just there. I've never experienced anything like that to that degree. And so then when I was doing these silent scenes, it would sometimes be as simple as, okay, so there'll be a table in front of me. There's puzzle pieces all around. There's a mug and there's cigarettes. Put the puzzle together, right? And sometimes we would shoot the scene for 30, 40, even an hour sometimes. And I had to fill that. And so how I tried to do it was acquaint myself with everything in the room to know what is available to me. And then I created an inner monologue for myself in hopes that in me thinking internally, that would then read for you guys to pick up on it. Because I didn't want to be over the top, but I instinctually knew that if I think it, you could pick it up. And what you were supposed to pick up is specific to each individual viewer. And so I just let go in that regard and let that play out, as it were. And it's been fascinating to see and people sharing with me of what things they saw and resonated with, in particular to those silent moments.
10 minutes, ladies.
I actually felt like, but as soon as the film ended, I was like, I want to see another movie about Mary. I want to see her get like a spin-off or a sequel, you know. She could come back the next Christmas, meet new friends, you know.
Oh, that's lovely.
Make, you know, share more new wisdom and make some new, you know, delicious dishes from what's, you know, in the school fridge, you know.
Yeah.
You could call it like the holdovers to the leftovers.
Ooh.
You know? Yeah.
You're onto something.
Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.